Welcome back to 7 Minutes Music and Message every Wednesday around 12 p.m. here at the Mount Olive Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. Lutheran Service Book number 802, Immortal, Invisible God, Only Wise. Immortal, invisible God, only wise, in light inaccessible, hid from our eyes. Most blessed, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, Almighty, victorious, thy great name we praise. Great Father of glory, pure Father of light, thine angels adore thee, all veiling their sight. All loud we would render, oh help us to see, 'tis only the splendor of light that hides thee. I watched the video of a person who came across a dilemma in her life. She said her entire career was built upon the axiom, if it is not measurable, it doesn't exist. But now she was experiencing something beyond natural reason, something not measurable. At least by the standards she usually would use to measure the world and her world. If it's not measurable, it doesn't exist. Well, there are different ways to define measurable. Taking the context of that video, though, it seems that the person was talking about that which is able to be described in specific terms like size, amount, duration, or mass. I bring this up because this is a train of thought used in some contexts to dismiss God, doing away with the teachings of the Bible and dismissing Christian faith and religion. God is not measurable. Therefore, he and everything related does not exist. If that's the way that we decide what exists or not in our life, though, there are many things that will cease to exist. For example, courage. We don't have any means to measure it. We can say a person is courageous, but how do you attribute size or mass or duration to that? Or even respect. Somebody can act respectfully as we attribute the name to that attitude, but you cannot just put it under a microscope and see it. Or identity. There's lots of talks about identity these days in this world in the most diverse areas, but measuring identity is an ability nowhere to be found. Depending on how you look at it, even numbers cease to exist because you just can have a precise amount or size or duration or mass of them. They're infinite. And the list would go on and on. Now, if we take a different approach, we have a better angle. For example, this definition I came across with, all things are measurable, but measure different things. What you need to do is to describe the outcomes in concrete terms. Describing the outcome in concrete terms. This is what Christian teaching and preaching do on a daily basis. First of all, it needs to be said, we don't prove God, we believe him. Faith is a gift and connects us to God through the Son, apart from any human means and measures. That being said, when you look to the outcomes, you have concrete terms about God and his action. It is partial, imperfect on our side, but perfect measure of his love given in his word. What the Bible teaches about sin, for example, can be described in concrete terms. You just have to look around and see all the problems sinful mankind has been causing to us, ourselves, and to the world. On the other hand, the outcome of Jesus' work on the cross, killing death and winning forgiveness forever, can be described in concrete terms in every Christian's life, in the church life, in daily life, in baptism, in Holy Supper. The outcome of the Christian hope, which can be described in so many concrete terms as we face daily life's challenges, walking in that hope for today and for every day. Yes, God is not measurable by any human standard. This is why he's God, by the way. In Romans 11, St. Paul writes, "Oh, the depth of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable are his judgments, and how inscrutable his ways! For who has known the mind of the Lord, or who has been his counselor?" This is why we place faith in him. This is why we trust his immeasurable grace as the most important thing there is. However, that doesn't prevent us of describing in concrete terms the manifold real outcomes this immeasurable grace brings to our daily measurable life. This is the Mount Olive Choir last Sunday on Thanksgiving Sunday, bringing We Stand Firm in Our Faith, the new hymn that the choir brought to the service of this weekend. 7 minutes every Wednesday, 12 p.m. here at the Mount Olive Facebook page and YouTube channel. Your company is always very welcome. God bless you. See you. See you next